Hello, Instagrammers and Facebook peoples. So, as requested, I am doing my Weimar Cabaret look. So this one's inspired obviously by the 1920s German cabaret style. And to get you there, let's begin. So, clean your face, let's get it done. For those of you who asked, my routine for this is I usually put some rose water toner all over my face before I begin, just to, tighten the pores, and the rose oils are very good for your skin. And I just generally do that all over my face and neck. Then I add my eye cream, and I gently pat and wipe that in, getting it all around the eye socket, because remember, the eyes are very delicate, so they need their own moisturizer. And then thirdly, I go in and I add moisturizer. So this is just an SPF 15 Nivea moisturizer. It's just quick and easy. It's slightly greasy, but I kind of like that because it helps the makeup really glide on the skin afterwards. The next thing I do from here is I take some alcohol and I rub it through my eyebrows to take off any natural oils that I might still have lying around. And then I go in with my trusty Elmer's glue, purple glue, and I go and brush against the hair grains with the hair grains above and below. And then using my spongy eyebrow brush, I wipe it all flat, or press it all flat, comb it all flat. And then using just the edge of a makeup wipe, I kind of just clean up the edges, making sure that I don't have a big blotchy glue edge at the end. Try to keep it nice and small and clean, nice and tight. And then once it dries, then you just add several more layers. I usually go for 4. For this look, I did 4 layers in total. And then pat it down with your favorite translucent powder, pat, 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 and then use with copious amounts of powder on the pad itself. Press it flat so that there's no texture in the eyebrows. You want it to be a smooth surface. You can do this, team. And then buff out the excess. Next, I go in with my primer. This is a hydrating primer. Once again, I said it leaves the skin slightly greasy, which I love because it helps really spread the product around. And this is a white eyeshadow base that I got from NYX. So I'm just popping that onto my eyelids and the area surrounding. I'm using the white base because it helps the colors pop a lot more. And I really, really, really like how it blends. Makes the product just move around so well. And then I'm going in with my cream contour stick from Kryolan, and I'm actually just going to do my mid-tone for this one, because obviously this is Weimar, so we're going for a look that's very dark and slightly malnourished looking, and so I want to have a pale skin. We became creatures of the night in the 1920s, so I need to have that sort of like gaunt, sun-phobic look about me. And then once again, I'm going over the highlight T area of my face, going through the spots where I want the light to catch, and then really emphasizing that with a white cream. Blend, 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 blend. And then once blended, set it all down with powder, copious amounts, pat it in, press it in, and then buff it out. Make sure you get all the areas. And then, so once you've buffed out the excess, we're then going to go and take our Ben Nye Super White Clown White powder and pat that underneath the eyes on both sides to help catch the fallout layer, but also to help bake the white into the highlight areas. Around the nose, bottom lip, I also do the cheeks, well, the jawline, should I say, the jawline, to cut that jaw, and then the center of the forehead, where we want the most light to be concentrated. And now we have a safety net for any product fallout. Taking a jumbo eye pencil, I am now just going to quickly trace out the design of the makeup that I want to do. This makeup is actually, it can be really, really messy, and it's kind of a little bit to the period if it is. So don't be afraid to go big or bold with this one. The colors are really, really dark, and what I'm doing is more of an homage to the 1920s and not an actual 1920s makeup. So feel free to adjust and do as you feel for historical accuracy. Now taking my finger, I'm patting out the pencil and blending out the edges. Once again, I am a sucker for a blended eye, and I don't want any blotchy moments. I'm here taking now a white eyeshadow base, and I'm just setting the edges of that blue pencil because I want something to blend into, and so I need to have that transition color from my skin to the eyebrow, and that is the white. And then once that is done, I take my lightest blue colors and then I will start pressing down and patting down all the blue pencil that I've just drawn on my face. So the way that I usually work is I always go with my lightest colors first, so white, then my lightest blue, then an intermediate blue. For this one I think I used 4 blues in total, but really, depending on whatever color you have or whatever you have available, just do whatever feels good for you. So here I am showing off my, my well-traveled NYX palette, and in I go. So this is the light blue color, and like I said, I'm just going to the edge now where I had the white, and I'm just blending inwards. So I'm creating a bit of a halo eye for this look. So the original design of the eye is to mimic that of a bit of a skeleton. Because in the 1920s it was this huge, like, found freedom and a kind of like unabashed, in-your-face, kind of like we are alive moment, and so they kind of played with the themes of death and mortality a lot, and so that often led into like the makeups looking very somber or a bit morose. And so that's kind of why I've drawn my eyes this way, is to sort of look a bit sad or even skeletal. And here I am going in now with the third blue color, and then finishing off with some white cream liner on the eyelids just to really make the area pop, and to make sure that I've got the shape that I want before I go in and I add yellow shimmer, yellow or gold. I just wanted something to contrast when I did this, and I really like the look of gold and blue together. I think it's quite royal, but that has nothing to do with the period, so once again, you can do as you wish. If you were probably doing a proper period piece, you probably wouldn't have had the eyelid bare. It probably would have just been one solid color right through to the eyebrows. And here I am just darkening now the outside edges with my fourth blue color. So like I said, I really like to concentrate the colors here right into the little corner towards the nose, because we really want that socket to sink back, make it look like you're almost gaunt. And then the same thing on the outside edges of the eyes to really sink those eye sockets back to get that sort of almost malnourished vibe. I know that sounds really awkward and terrible, but that's kind of what it was. And here I am taking my cream color and drawing, or attempting to draw on my first eyebrow. I realized that I did it too high when I pulled my head away, so I had to go and draw another one. But it's okay, I managed to fix it with some white cream liner afterwards. Luckily, you know, it's just a thin line, you can make magic happen still. And here I am just cleaning that line to make sure that it disappears. Makeup is a mission. Alright, and here we go, finally going in with some black. And this is just really now going to set that socket even further back. Really be careful when you use black, because sometimes it just gets away from you and goes crazy very quickly, which I kind of discovered when I did this, and I was like, no! But I think I managed to kind of save it. Here I am taking my cream liner just in the corner of my eye to the outside edge. I'm not doing a winged eye for this. In fact, I'm going to blend out the outside edge of the cream liner into the edge of my eye. Yeah, I didn't want to take it further back because that's not of the period, but also it would change the shape of the eye and what I'm trying to achieve with the expression, so just had to be careful. Next up we have the mascara. So for this makeup look, I didn't actually use any false eyelashes. I feel like this mascara that I'm using here is so chunky and thick that just a few layers of that and I kind of get that spider eyelash look anyway. And then of course I go on and draw on my eyebrows with the liquid liner just to really emphasize them. I would have maybe left them brown when I look back at the photographs, but you know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they still look okay. Using my white cream liner, I fix up the lines in case there's any wobbles and they're not to my liking. I'm a sheer perfectionist, so I spend a lot of time going over things until they look good. And then sometimes I just have to realize that, you know, sometimes things are just not gonna be that great and you just gotta bear it. So, yeah, I let it go. Going with my blue to go past the eyebrows and just feather out the edges of that blue once again. You know, keeping everything smooth and lovely. Here I am buffing out all the excess makeup, all the white baking powder that I'd put on my face, and now I'm going on to the high bones of my cheeks with my pink and orange blush concoction from the NYX palette. and I am just buffing that in. The idea for this one was they kind of wanted like almost like a blush, a natural blush, which kind of comes around the ends of the cheeks. I pull this down though to the corners of my chin just to help feminize my face, but that wouldn't be period. And yeah, I'm just going in and further intensifying that color now and blending as I go. I think it's such a beautiful look, and I think that this really makes like an amazing sort of almost Pierrot clown effect. I really like it. And then this is also not very period, but I'm going with my shimmer, and I am just buffing up the tops of the cheeks. I can actually feel my cheekbones, and I'm just pressing onto them with the shimmer, and then taking it just past the cheeks as well towards the ears, just to really give that glowy look when I turn sideways. Here I'm taking a white cooler color and pressing that into the cupid's bow of my mouth and bottom lip, and then that same color into the edge of the white on my eyebrows and just above, so that when I turn my face, I don't look like I'm just matte. I have some dimension and a glow to me. Lips are really fun for this look. You try to go for like a clover top lip, so 2 little circles, and then you draw them out, not to the edges of your mouth, but literally just before. So you want a really small lip. And they really went for thin lips in this style. Here I am just emphasizing with a little bit of black on the outside of my upper lip, and then I'm gonna blend that in. And then to help keep my bottom lip, which I haven't actually put a lot of product on, I just kind of like smacked my lips together and then blended it out with my finger. I am now taking some white and just accentuating the edge of my mouth, giving it a cute little round mouthy thingy. Set that down with some powder to make sure that it doesn't budge. I added some to the red as well to give that a bit more of an ombre so it's not as striking. And then I'm going in with my trusty beauty spot. I usually put 2 on the cheek, 1 large one, 1 small one. And then I'm taking a clean fluffy brush and I'm just blending out any colors that I feel that need to be blended. Everything needs to look like it kind of goes from one to the other effortlessly and smoothly. Adding in more mascara. Those eyelashes need to start looking very spider-leggy. And then from here, adding in my signature white eyeliner. Not as much as I would in my normal makeups, just on the bottom tear line. And then, because it's for the period, and I felt like this is a really sad, it's a very sad look, I thought I might just put in some almost eye tears. So I'm just using a black powder for this. And then voila, you add the wig and just get some clothes on, and this is the look. So, all angles. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. If you want to try it, let me know, show me some photos. I'd love to see your version of it. And if you have any requests for anything else in the future, let me know too. I've got a couple more in mind, but until then, I'll see you later.